today we are going to be making some floral jewelry. And these are basic techniques that I'm showing you that you can start with or add to your repertoire. Do something unique, make it your own. I'm just going to show you some basic stuff. This would be a boutonniere start. Then we have some custom bracelets. And these are the types of things we are going to be doing today for you guys. Show you a quick peek of a boutonniere. Some different corsages. These that we're going to be working on today. So let's start with the boutonniere. You're going to grab your bullion wire, and I do 15 arm lengths of bullion wire. Of course, yours will probably be different depending on your arm length. The advantage is you could always add more or less, whatever you wish. That's about 15 there, I believe. And you want this to be messy. Don't worry about it getting knotted. This is not something you have to worry about. This is easy. So now you have a pile of bullion. What you're gonna do is just feed it into itself. The bullion will start locking in on itself, and that's exactly what we want to have happen. And you keep doing that until it gets rather difficult to separate out. And this is where we could start making our shape. For the backing of this boutonniere, we're going to use a U-glue adhesive strip. This is the shape, the rectangle is what we're going to go for. So start forming it into its shape. Put it on your table, it's a little bit easier to move around. Crush it into itself. It's basically the shape that you were looking for. The bullion is forgivable, so you can always mess with the shape a little bit as you go. It's pretty close. Do you see how it's covering the whole adhesive back to it? Next, you're going to take another little piece of bullion, about an arm length or less. You don't need a lot for this. What we're going to do is we are going to sew around the edges. And that is going to prevent any loose pieces slipping out or ruining your display. So just take a piece of the same color, feed it through the edge, and just loop it over. And you're going to go all the way around this to give you a nice edge like that. For time's sake, imagine I did that. Tell anybody, because that'll give me the nice edge. Take your adhesive, one of the parts off of it. Lay your bullion base right on top. And that would be your bullion base. But let's add a little more decor to that. So I'm going to use a piece of flat wire, the same length as the bullion. Now we have the same length as the bullion. And I'm going to use my dashes, put a couple of dashes on here. This stuff is really strong. This is not going to move anywhere. And the dashes fit perfectly on the flat wire. So you see how we have them on the flat wire now. And then I am just going to stick it right directly on to our bullion base. See, pretty easy, took no time whatsoever. That gives us a base for the boutonniere. And let's go ahead and finish this boutonniere right off. I have a stem of plumosa I'm going to be using. So I just want a couple of little pieces off of that. Actually, I don't think I'm just going to put one piece. The adhesive glue, Lifesaver. A little bit of glue on there. And I'm going to run this up alongside of the metal flat wire. Because then you get that beautiful plumosa over the silver. It's gorgeous. And you know, the bullion and the flat wire and aluminum wire, everything we're using today comes in so many colors. So beautiful. Don't limit yourself. And I'm going to take one of my bleach dried. I'm going to do it different than the sample, because I want this to be a little bit more modern. Let's do another one, shall we? A little bit of glue on this. It's not completely dry, but there we have it. Simple. You could put an orchid bloom on there. You could put a little rosebud, like we did with this one on there. But let's let this dry, and then I will show it up for you guys. Okay, moving on. Let us make our round version. So we're going to use green. We're going to stay with color and do 15 to 16 of these arm lengths. This is great to do. Oh, dropping stuff always. When you have a little bit of downtime and you want to get ready for wedding season or dance season, father-daughter dance, prom, homecoming, get these items done ahead of time. If it's for prom or homecoming, go to the local bridal shops and see what they've ordered, what colors they've ordered for the season. Get on top of that, and then show these. And these aren't just corsages, these are now keepsake bracelets. It's all about the words we use. We have to use the expensive words. So, I have my knot again. And I'm just going to keep what we did before, just wrapping it into itself, pulling it out so we get a nice firm lock on. And if you have a spot like this where there's a lot of bullion, just go ahead and use your fingers and spread that out. And when it starts to get difficult to feed in, this is where you want to create your shape. We're going to go for a round shape this time. And remember, you're going to want to sew the edges like we did with the boutonniere form. Sew all of your edges so that way you don't have a lot of loose stuff happening around. You want it to be tight. And we're going to pretend like I sewed this, right? So let's just pretend that I sewed the edges, as you should. And I'm telling you, if you don't believe me about sewing the edges, do one without the edges sewed, and then do one completely with the edges sewed, and you're going to realize that's the way to go. Okay, so we have our round disc. Now to make the floret that's inside of it, we are going to need some aluminum wire. About 30 inches will do. No, let's do silver. $20 to 30 inches. Whatever that is what we'll do for this one. Grab yourself something round. I just have a can of paint here. You could use a cylinder base, anything round that's about the size of a wrist. This is what we're going for. Take your wire, wrap it around, see, and then twist it and start twisting it on itself. You want to keep the wires lined up over itself. And this is going to take you a little time, but that's okay. You're making these all ahead of time. You're slow right now, right? We're prepping for what's coming. You see how it's starting to form on itself like that? It starts to create a little rosette. You can really make this as big as you want. But for our sake, I think that's pretty good. Take your jewelry cuts, slice them back, trim these down. So, take your jewelry pliers and just twist this raw edge underneath it. So that way there's no sharp edges whatsoever. See how that works? Now we're going to fold the legs of it together. Starts to look like a barrette. Feed it through the center of your bullion palette. So, wrap it back around the same round surface so you can get your round, beautiful round shape of the bracelet. Take your wire clips, the edges, the raw edges, just fold them in on itself. That way again, we have no sharp points coming out. And that is the bracelet version. A little bit small, this size could have been for a flower girl or baby daughter dance. And then just start pinching some in to create it to look like a petal. How cute would that be for a dance for baby daughters? And see again, and I did not sew this, and so the edges are starting to do their own thing. So that's why I'm telling you all, sew these down. And then I cup it a little bit, like a flower would be. See? You got some dimension there, it's not so flat. It's cupped down. If these were sewed, they would be perfectly even. Now to add some floral to that. So when we have to do a lineup of these in the studio, we put a towel down and around items such as a spray can or a cylinder base, and we just put these, wrap these around them. We put the towel so it doesn't flow around. This way we can line them up and just glue them as we go, pretty quick. I'm gonna do a little bit of plumosa in this one again. And this time I'm gonna do some permanent botanicals. I have the permanent botanical orchids here. There's nothing wrong with mixing permanent botanicals and fresh flowers. Now I say permanent botanicals because that's the lovely name to give them. Some people say they're silk or they're fake flowers, and Lord knows, don't ever say they're fake flowers. Words have value, and once you start using words that have some value to them, like permanent botanicals, keepsake bracelet, your customers appreciate it more. All of a sudden, you have something that's more valuable than the shop down the street who's calling it fake flowers and corsages. Use your nice words. So I'm just gluing some of these right onto here. Of course, you could use fresh orchids. And for those who are going to send me messages, yes, you're supposed to wait for the glue to get tacky. So you would glue all of these and just wait for them to get tacky and then put them in. So you are right. So let me do it the right way. So let's let that dry a little, leave that. So this is the bracelet. You still have this beautiful green of the bullion, it's shiny. That's gonna grab some light when they're moving and they're dancing. You still see a little bit of the rosette in there, and you just have floral on the side. Again, very little floral, not a lot to it, but it has a good impact. So put that there to dry. Next, I wanna show you how to make this base here. So you can start, I wouldn't go much smaller than 30-inch start. But for lack of measuring tape, let's just imagine that's 30. Take your piece of aluminum wire, your jewelry pliers, and just start rotating this in on itself. You don't want it to go underneath. What you want to do is create a beautiful coil. Do you see how you're creating this beautiful coil there? It's flat, it's even. Once you get to a point where you could use your hands, go ahead and start using your hands. It's much easier. And you're gonna want to do the other side the same exact way. And just keep going. You want them to be even. You don't want one huge one and one small one. No, no. You want them to be even. Until it gets to be like that. Kind of looks like glasses, right? And then you're just gonna fold one behind the other. And you have this round coil. Then separate them by folding one above. And you should have this 8 pattern. Do you see how it looks like an 8? Then what we're gonna do is start folding them from the inside out. See how I have little circles happening? From the inside out. And that becomes your pattern. This becomes the base of this keepsake bracelet. I learned this technique years ago, and we do use this a lot. We can do this a little bit longer, and it'll hold its curve for like a hairpiece, and just glue some flowers to it. Again, I love the things that we can make way ahead of time. Next, we're gonna add some metallic wire, and I'm going to use gold because I like to see the differences of them. And I really don't mind mixing metallics. Kind of love it actually. So start at the one end, tie it around, and you're just going to want to rotate this on to the aluminum wire bracelet. No rhyme or reason really. It could be sloppy. It's not meant to be pristine. If you're somebody with extreme OCD, this is probably not the thing for you. This is meant to be a little chaos in a beautiful way. So go down and back. Really, you can make it as much as you want, as thick as you want. Again, it's fabulous because the stuff comes in so many different colors. You really can dictate what the future is going to be for your store, your customers. Cut it off and tie it down. And fold it in. So this is what you have now. Do you see the gold coming through, the silver? Take your wire clips, go through, and just give the metallic wire a little twist. Just so we're not having a lot of wire sticking out of the aluminum wire. You want the metallic wire to be within. And that just gives some strength to the base. Sorry about that. My studio, must be something happening in the city. And you're gonna go all the way around and just make sure you don't have any pieces sticking out where they shouldn't be. And they're all within the form. Next, you are going to take, we'll go back to silver, your bullion wire, tie it off at the end. I typically go to the other side that I didn't do the metallic wire on. And this, you're gonna do the same thing. Just wrap it around, no rhyme or reason. It's nice because the bullion will grab a hold of the metallic wire, so it won't slide as much. You'll notice the metallic wire does slide. It's one of those time-saving things. You'll get it. And once you do, you'll be able to make these so quickly. Tie it off at the end. See there? Base is done. Easy, simple. It's now a keepsake bracelet. It's customized to your client. This sample here, we just did one of the little florets on top, one of the rosettes. But for our design here, I'm just gonna glue some flowers to the top. Let's finish up using a little bit of plumosa. And you can just lay these on your work table, going down. If you have more than one, if you're doing a dance or it's for a wedding, or any other function, you could just glue them down. And you just glue this right to the wires. The bullion wire will grab right a hold to it. And with plumosa, we even use these little bitty pieces. I love plumosa. I think it's so feathery. It's like feathers, it's light, it's simple. And now we just have a foliage base. Grab a couple of flowers. These in. We have our permanent botanical orchids. Just pop a little glue on them. set for a minute so it gets tacky. And the plumose is going to hold those right in the spot. Take some of this bleach product that is super on trend, and it is not going anywhere anytime soon. A little odd number with this kind of stuff. Creates the line in your design. I love it to go up. So that is really it. That's all the flower item needed for a bracelet like this. What? I don't have a piece, and I apologize. But what I would do in the back is I would put a little piece of Floral on the back right here, or a little piece of ribbon, just to kind of finish off the back so you don't see the mechanics of the glue at all. But that is this bracelet. So these are 3 items that you can do ahead of time. This is dry now, look how beautiful that is. You can do these ahead of time, customize them, make them keepsakes. This comes off, and for those of you who are really unsure of the adhesives, I'm telling you right now, once this is on, it is not going to move the whole night, no matter what happens. That is staying on. We have this bracelet over here. This was another version of the boutonniere if you wanted to do a rose or a different flower item. You could do a crispidia there. So many unique things you could do. Here is our bracelet form. Simple, little product, big impact, and it folds right around. Look how beautiful. That's this one here. And then we have our folding one. So this we deliver directly like this, and we tell the person when they're giving it to their date, or if it's a planner going to a wedding, you just take it and you literally bend it around the wrist of the person that's gonna be wearing it all night, and this will stay in place. You just bend it right around the wrist. And that stays in place. It's better than the elastic bands. And again, it's another form of a keepsake, customizable. Here's the one with the roses. So many different ways. This is just basic starts for you to do something with your wire, get you motivated to do wire work. Go out there, see what everybody's doing. Some people are doing amazing work with wire. Endless possibilities. So, hope you enjoyed our video for today, and I will see you soon. Have a good day. Bye.